Westminster Abbey has been home to royal coronations since 1066. For nearly 1,000 years, Westminster Abbey in London has played an important role in the British monarchy. The historic structure was founded by Benedictine monks in 960 AD and existed as a monastery until King Edward the Confessor, also known as Saint Edward the Confessor, made plans to enlarge it into a stone church. King Edward died shortly after the building was consecrated in 1065, and in the 13th century, King Henry III decided to rebuild it in a Gothic style, which is still reflected in the church's grand vaulted ceilings and geometric design. Hello and welcome to Royal Scandal. Please do well to like, subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell so as not to miss out on any news updates. According to its official website, Westminster Abbey has held every coronation of a British monarch since 1066 as well as many royal weddings. It also serves as the final resting place of 30 past kings and queens and has long been the site of royal funerals, including Princess Diana's in 1997 and Queen Elizabeth's in 2022. Here's everything to know about the historic church where King Charles's coronation took place. Number 1. Westminster Abbey is renowned for its grand architecture. The current Westminster Abbey mainly reflects King Henry III's 13th century design. The church features characteristics of classic Gothic architecture, such as pointed arches, ribbed vaulting, rose windows and flying buttresses. In fact, at nearly 102 feet tall, the Abbey has the highest Gothic vault in all of England. There are also obvious English influences in the architecture, like single rather than double aisles, elaborate moldings on the arches and marble column. Today, Westminster Abbey is an expansive structure with many sections and features that reflect its rich history. Some of the most noteworthy are the nave, where many notable figures have been buried, the cloisters, a gathering place for monks from the 13th to 15th centuries, the Jerusalem Chamber, the former home of the abbot, or head, of Westminster, the Poets' Corner, where many famous writers have been buried or have memorials, and the Lady Chapel, which is the burial site of 15 kings and queens. Number 2. It's undergone numerous renovations over the years. Westminster Abbey has seen so many changes that almost none of the original structure remains. In 1245, King Henry III began massive renovations, tearing down most of the church founded by Saint Edward and rebuilding it in a classic Gothic architectural style. In the 16th century, King Henry VII constructed the lavish Lady Chapel, which features a carved vaulted roof and hanging pendants. It reflects the perpendicular Gothic architecture, a later style of Gothic architecture that contrasts the rest of the Abbey. The West Towers, completed in 1745, marked the last phase of building Westminster Abbey for several centuries. Designed by Abbey's surveyor Nicholas Hawksmoor and completed by his successor John James, the towers are at the western end of the structure and were built in a Gothic revival style using Portland stone. The exterior of the Abbey has also been restored several times in different types of stone. The most recent restoration occurred between 1973 and 1995. In 2018, the new Weston Tower was opened to the public, marking the latest addition to the Abbey. The tower allows visitors to access the Triforium, which houses the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Galleries. Number 3. It's been the site of every coronation since 1066. Since 1066, there have been 38 coronations and 39 monarchs crowned at Westminster Abbey. The first documented coronation at the historic site was that of William the Conqueror on December 25, 1066. Other notable coronations include George IV in 1821, Queen Victoria in 1838 and Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Early coronations were treated more as a spectacle than a religious ceremony, but when Queen Victoria was crowned in 1838, the tradition saw a renewed emphasis on religious significance. Queen Elizabeth's coronation also marked a historic moment. It was the first televised coronation, with 27 million viewers tuning in on television, 11 million listening via duct radio, and 8,000 guests who attended in person. The event was also delayed by almost a year due to the sudden death of the Queen's father, King George VI, in February 1952. Her Majesty arrived in a horse-drawn gold carriage and wore a white Duchess satin dress created by Sir Norman Hartnell, the same designer who made her 1947 wedding gown. She also wore 2 crowns throughout her coronation, the St. Edward crown and the Imperial State crown. Number 4. 16 royal weddings have been held there. The tradition of holding royal weddings at Westminster Abbey goes back 900 years to the marriage of Henry I and Princess Matilda of Scotland in 1100. Since then, a total of 16 royal weddings have occurred there, including Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's 1947 union. Westminster Abbey was also the site of Prince William and Kate Middleton's lavish 2011 nuptials. With 2,200 guests, the Abbey was filled to capacity, though nearly 1 billion people total tuned in to watch the couple tie the knot. Number 5. It's the site of royal funerals and burials. Westminster Abbey also serves as a resting place for past monarchs and has held many royal funerals. Across both St. Edward's Chapel and the Lady Chapel, there are 13 kings, 4 queens regnant, those who reigned, 11 queens consort, those married to a king, and 2 other queens buried. Later monarchs were buried elsewhere due to a lack of space in Westminster Abbey. Following her death in 2022, Queen Elizabeth was buried at the King George VI Memorial Chapel at Windsor Castle, alongside her husband of 73 years, Prince Philip. Prior to her burial, the Queen's official state funeral took place at Westminster Abbey. Princess Diana's funeral was also held at Westminster Abbey. She was then buried at the Spencer family estate. Number 6. It's open to the public. Though Westminster Abbey was closed from April 25 through May 8 for King Charles's coronation, it is typically open to the public both for guided tours as well as church services. Guests can tour attractions like the chapels and royal tombs and can even view the coronation chair, which has been a part of royal coronations for over 700 years. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.